So really quick, it is 11:30 at night. I kind of wanted to wait until later in the day so I didn't miss any spoilers that were posted after the video. I waited a little longer than I had expected. But I did want to get this in before it's no longer the 14th. I've got all of the spoilers ready to go, so we'll go through them. I have read the titles and I've kind of seen what they're about, but I haven't really gone through everything. So I did see that they're rebalancing Reach of the Council finally, which they've said they've done like 4 times. Greater Volley, okay, so it's still kind of bad, but arrows fired from the first firing points always pierce, fired from the second firing points fork, fired from the third firing points return to you, fired from the fourth firing points chain 2 extra times. That is weird. I feel like you can't do anything with that. It makes it very slightly worse having fork, pierce, or chain in the bow, because one of your arrows will just not really do that. Your pierce arrow pierces maybe okay, I guess. Well, actually, it's not. It's really bad. But if you have fork in there, your second firing point is already forking, so I'm assuming you can't fork again. And then if your first arrow always pierces, it will never fork. I mean, it's interesting insofar that it's going to be an absolute absurd mess on your screen, and that's kind of hilarious, but I don't think it's good enough. I actually think it needs to do a lot more damage and still be interesting in this way for anyone to really want to use it. So, whatever. I guess that means your central arrow, like the one that you fire, which would be your first firing point is to your left, your second firing point is just a little bit to your left, and then there's your arrow. And then I think your third firing point is slightly to your right, and your fourth firing point is further to your right. I think that's how it goes, right? Because Greater Volley is +4 proj, and these are the 4 proj. So you've still got your central one, which is not going to be doing anything. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's an update. I don't know if we needed it. So cool, but I don't think this really changes much. The benefits to consuming corpses can be many. So this is a new, presumably an entirely new wheel. Corpse life. Killing an enemy is not spawning a corpse. Undertaker, 30% increased damage if you've consumed a corpse recently. Skills that create corpses have +2 maximum number of corpses allowed. Regenerate 2% of life per second if you've consumed a corpse recently. So that feels really good because that really helps bridge the gap between Necromancer and everyone else when it comes to like a Spellslinger Volatile Dead build or a Poet's Pen Volatile Dead build. This is good. Increased damage if you've consumed a corpse recently. So the entire wheel presumably is 60% increased damage. Corpses have 30% increased max life. Getting 30% increased max life isn't that going to just be like a 30% more damage? Right? Because if you're doing, I guess not 30% more damage, but 30% more damage on the actual explosion of VD. Not on the balls. I don't know if that's super relevant, but I like that. And I always like it when they make wheels that are doing unique effects. I said that 2 days ago, I'll say it again. Unique effects are good things. Encourage the Blurt Harvest patch notes. So, two-handers. Revealed all two-handed weapon base types have adjusted their attack damage, speeds, and implicits. Ooh, implicits is a big deal. If the implicits are changing to be more relevant, that's gonna feel really good, especially because like two-handed swords just give you a pile of accuracy, which is like kind of cool. But accuracy is never really super meaningful, and then two-handed maces feel really bad because you get like stun duration and stun threshold, and it's stun stuff, and I guess quarterstaves are fine. I think block on a as an implicit is actually really good. Two-handed axes, if two-handed axes get some sort of implicit, that could also help them be a little bit more relevant. Help to give them a different feel from dual wielding and one-handed counterparts. Okay. Ensure that damage you gain by using a two-hander makes up for the lack of block and slower attack speed. Yeah, this is really, I think, the biggest thing. In PoE, you want to go fast. You want to go really fast. So even if you do twice as much damage, if you go 30% slower, it's not worth it because you can get all the damage you need from a one-hander. Like, the only way it would be worth it is if two-handers are literally just like one-tapping rare and unique enemies, and then it's worth it enough to be slower during actual mapping. At least in my opinion. I think that's why people don't play two-handers more. Except for the two-handers that are just absolutely insane, like Starforge, Voidforge, that sort of stuff. I want to see what these changes are. What these changes actually are. Because this could go a long way, or it could feel like just not enough. Div card. The Sustenance. Energy from within 2 implicit corrupted. Okay, that's really cool. It's only 3, so I have a feeling this is actually going to be kind of expensive. But this is going to be... Well, if this is like target farmable in SSF, that actually really helps if someone wants to do like a CI build in SSF. But whenever they release something like that, they overtune the rarity so that it's virtually untarget farmable, especially because it's only 3. I don't know if this is going to be super expensive. I don't know how expensive energy from within is, but depending on that price, it's cool. It's cool. I really like the addition of 2 implicit corrupted div cards. It does really dampen the uniqueness of the temple. I mean, God, I haven't run a temple since... Well, I ran them after Incursion, but I don't think I ran a single temple in Delirium. It just never felt relevant. I did my Alvas, and then when I got the temple, I just went in and exited immediately. Because doing the actual incursions and maps felt good because you could get splinters and stuff from that. But I never did the temple. The temple itself did not feel relevant. So, yeah, whatever. That was tangential. Oh, what is this? Wings of Entropy? No. So this was the link for that div card, but I guess Bex commented on here. Wings of Entropy is now an Ezomite Axe. Gives a little bit more spell block and attack block, so you get 10% of each max. You get a little bit more added fire and added chaos, and you have lower percent fizz due to the change in base type. That's irrelevant. What a dumb change. Weapon skins work with it, that's cool. But Wings of Entropy is so... It's such a cool idea, but that's the only thing it has going for it, is that it's a two-handed weapon that actually gives you 2 one-handed weapons. It's so irrelevant. That's a shame. They could have done something really cool with it, and they didn't. They just tuned it up a little bit, but then lowered the fizz. Like, why would you lower the fizz and then not make the elemental damage absolutely insane? Like, honestly, you could probably double the fire and the chaos, and it would still be, like, marginal at best. Because you're not scaling fire and chaos in any meaningful way. I don't like that. If this is how... I don't like that. Whatever. So, more harvest crafting options. Okay. Change a unique item into Parandus coins. Rare unique items are worth more Parandus coins. Didn't they tease this before? They must have just... I think this just is changing the wording. Change a sack or mortal frag into another random fragment of that type. I feel like they did that too. And the Pale Court key into another one, they teased that as well. Add an implicit to a cluster jewel. That's really cool. Add an implicit to a cluster jewel. Man, that's actually really good. I mean, the implicits could be just turds, but anything where you can get implicits is going to be good. Remove a crit mod from an item. That's very strange. Augment an item with a new life mod. That's very good. Augment an item with a new life modifier with lucky values. That's also very good. Sacrifice a map. Add an infused domination craft to your map device. Okay, so that must be the map mod, the Zana mods, right? So you can add domination, add rampage. I wonder if this means that they're going to expand the map device crafts, because if they're calling it infused, they could theoretically just have everything available as infused crafts, and you can only do one infused craft on a map. I'm kind of assuming that that's how it works, which is cool. I like that. Reforge the links between sockets on an item, much more likely to create a large number of linked sockets. Wow, you only get... Oh, you get 3 uses, though. That's actually really convenient. So it's 3, like, super fusings. Upgrade a normal item to a random rarity, more likely to be upgraded to a higher rarity. Cool. I wonder if this can make League uniques. Probably not, because it's probably still just a chance orb. I wonder what happens if you use this in a Nemesis map. Can it chance orb a belt into a headhunter? We don't know. Reforge a rare item with new random mods, much more likely to have a higher average modifier level. Okay, so it's whatever the fossil is that makes it more likely to get higher level affixes. Set an item's implicit modifier to a random synthesized modifier. It's 100. Oh my god, that's really, really good. This is incredibly pushed. This is absolutely pushed. I mean, you can tell, right? Like, if it costs 100, they know that this is really good. You'll notice that one of these options allows you to roll a new implicit mod on a jewel. Here are some examples. A searching eye, 10% reduced effective chill. That's garbage. Brawn with 1% increased move speed. That's actually kind of nice, getting jewels with 1% move speed as an implicit. And here's the cluster jewel. 20% increased total recovery per second from life leech. Okay. I like that. Yeah. So one thing I'm noticing here is, notice these icons, right? This is just gray. This has a little tinge of like this blue sparkle, and then this one has a lot of blue sparkles, and the sizes of the stones are a little different, or the eggs, or whatever you want to call them. This one's small, this looks a little bit bigger, it's got a little bit of glow here, and then this one's really large, and it's like got a lot of this yellow speckle. Yeah, see, like up here, you can really visually see the difference from these top ones. So I think this is determining the rarity, right? So that's really convenient. You get to see the rarity of the modifiers that you're getting, and I have a feeling it's not usually going to look like this. You're usually going to have, like, most of them be this very common, I want to say garden variety, but that seems like a bad joke with harvest. But you're going to have these much more common, low tier rarity crafts, and then you might have one or two. So it's probably a little disingenuous to have 4 of these super rare crafts here, but maybe some of these ones get much more common at higher levels. Or maybe the beasts that have like these, you know, change things, maybe those are always rare. So maybe there are some seeds that effectively always grant you a rare craft. That's cool. I really like these. I really like how this stuff is shaping up. Introduces a small quality of life feature that allows you to hide your remove only tabs. Only relevant in standard. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is convenient. I don't think it really matters though, because most people don't play standard. But for those people that do play standard, this is a really nice quality of life feature that is also relatively small. Because I mean, sometimes the stuff that you have on those remove only tabs is like you may not want to see right then, but like you'll want to deal with it sooner rather than later. Okay, I did see this. I don't think it's super relevant, but worth mentioning. Slay the ultimate boss, win Alienware laptop. So, in addition to the first player to slay the endgame boss in Hardcore Solo Self-Found, anyone who slays the boss in any PC version of Harvest within the first week on our main international server, so not Tencent or Garena, whatever, will also go into the drawing to win a laptop provided by Alienware. Okay, so actually what I'm more interested in is this bottom part. We're also providing ultimate microtransaction prize packages to 10 other players from any Harvest League who kill the endgame Harvest boss within the first week. So, kill the boss, maybe win a laptop, maybe win a microtransaction pack. Maybe don't. I mean, again, this is one of those things that, like, I think it will drive a lot of normal players, I guess, to compete at a higher level than they maybe otherwise would. But like we know the 30, 40 players or whatever that are going to be in the running for this guy, right? Like I can probably count on my fingers the players that I think that are really even going to be in the running for this in Hardcore Solo Self-Found, right? Like it's the streamers, it's the people that have been playing this game for a long time and are very well versed in the game. But you know, there might be a little bit of an upset, right? There are a lot of players that are good at the game. I also think it's much more interesting that 10 other players will basically be given these things if they kill the final boss. So cool. We'll be interested to see what this... Oh, interesting. Okay, so there are 3 significant boss fights which lead towards the pinnacle boss. So I wonder what that's going to be. I'm presuming if there's 3 types of seeds, there's going to be a, tier 4 for the boss of each, and then presumably, maybe if you fight all 3 at once, you get a seed for the pinnacle boss? I don't know. We don't know. We'll find out. So cool, totally irrelevant for me. I don't care at all, but it's nice when they do things like this. It's a gesture of goodwill, at least. And I did see this. It's not really like a teaser or anything, but Bex tweeted, "Don't worry, y'all. The Balance Manifesto is only 9 pages long." So we've only got, I think, 2 more days before the Balance Manifesto is supposed to be posted. So I should be able to go over that on the 16th. It might be delayed because coronavirus is a big deal, and I don't want them to feel like super obligated to jump the gun on that. But hopefully on the 16th, I'm able to do a read through of the Balance Manifesto. And then I believe the next day, on the 17th, I should be able to do a read through of patch notes, right? Patch notes on Wednesday. So hopefully, if all things go to plan, those will be the last 2 videos before harvest, and then I will begin streaming. So after the Balance Manifesto, I'll probably give a little bit more discussion about what my plans are, how I'm going to be playing, what I'm really excited for about Harvest, some of those sorts of things. And after the patch notes, I will really maybe I'll even spend some time going through POB on stream. So yeah, that's good stuff. A little bit disappointed that there wasn't like meatier teasers over the last 2 days, but it was the weekend, and hopefully next couple of days we'll get some really good stuff, and really looking forward to that balance manifesto. So what do we got? Like 5 more days, and then harvest drops. So I'm getting really excited. Hope you guys are too. See ya.